Hello, Realtors. Welcome to the SCR update. This is episode number 376, and it is December 1st, 2025. This is your go-to source for what's happening in the world of real estate and how it impacts you. Happy holidays to everyone. This is hard to believe that we're already in the last month of the year. As always, I'm your host, Jolly Old St. Nick. Words that have never been used to describe me before, Mike. Well, maybe the old is accurate, but I'm your CEO. Proud to be with the South Carolina Realtors and with you today. I've got a few updates for you today regarding recent actions of the NAR Board of Directors and the SCR Board of Directors. These changes include updates to the REALTOR Code of Ethics and SCR forms. So the NAR Board, at its meeting last month in Houston, acted on several recommendations from the Professional Standards Committee. Now, this committee was chaired by South Carolina Realtor Todd Beckstrom. Many of you know Todd by working with him here in the Columbia area or taking one of his classes. Three of these changes pertain to language that was changed in the Code of Ethics as a result of or following the settlement agreement. So one of those recommendations sought to establish that realtors must disclose to their own client or clients only when compensated by more than one party. Now, we've had reports on the legal hotline or questions, I should say, of listing agents asking to see a buyer agent's agreement with their buyer and whether this was a valid request or not. The practical result of the board's actions is that they reaffirmed or confirmed that there is no obligation to disclose the contents of a buyer-broker agreement to sellers or their brokers, even if compensation is paid in a combination of both sides, or by a combination, I should say, of both sides of the transaction. Now, the board voted 863 to 36. No, that is not you didn't hear that wrong, in favor of the change. Overwhelming support. If you're not familiar with the structure of the National Association, to be fair, it's a little outdated. It's a little old-fashioned. You have your leadership team, which are the officers of the association. You have the executive committee, which includes the regional vice presidents, a little bit larger group. Then you have the board of directors, which is over 1,000 members from all across the country. And then on top of that, there's an additional delegate body that has to vote on and approve certain things like changes to the Code of Ethics. Now, this change the delegate body passed with overwhelming support. Now, another measure that sought to expand transparency around real estate referral fees to clients and customers passed the board of directors, but ultimately failed by a very slim margin, did not pass the delegate body. Now, many delegates voiced support for transparency, but thought that the measure needed further review and development at the committee level. While referral fees are a standard in legal practice that allows agents to connect clients with the best experts for their needs, SCR has long recommended that these arrangements should never be hidden. They should always be disclosed. And by explicitly disclosing these fees, SCR members empower their clients to evaluate the true value of the services that they are being offered. Now, SCR will be releasing an update of its referral form next month that emphasizes transparency in the transaction, where it's clear to the agent that's being referred, to the agent that's doing the referring, and to the client who's in the middle of all of that all of the particulars of the referral are being shared and disclosed. Now, these revisions aim to provide a simple method for agents to disclose referral compensation up front, ensuring that South Carolina consumers are among the most informed in the marketplace. So stay tuned for an update from Austin very soon. The NAR directors also approved a new strategic plan for NAR, which They built on feedback from more than 150,000 members, and it details NAR's commitment to members, the industry, and to partners and consumers. And why is this so important? If you attended the meetings or read any of the communications from the national meetings, there was a lot of emphasis placed on the strategic plan. And I think one of the key elements of this, members, is NAR is trying hard to rebuild trust that many felt was broken during the whole series of scandals, the headlines, all the way through the lawsuits and the things that we continue to deal with. I think NAR is right to lean into this strategic plan. It has essentially there are 8 commitments that are being expanded into initiatives and projects for NAR leadership and for NAR staff. NAR staff group leaders will have ownership over completing these projects, and they'll be tracked all along the way. The plan addresses how to anticipate and deliver member value in a rapidly changing marketplace. Now, some elements of the plan have already begun to start. Some have actually been executed, but full implementation begins in 2026. And there are going to be toolkits and resources that are available for state and local association leaders too. A key element, I think, in the rebuilding of NAR, 1 in 3 staff members at NAR are brand new. I've mentioned this many times that NAR CEO Nick Kremydas is taking a very, very positive, I believe, and very proactive stance in changing the culture. And as a result of that, a lot of staff have changed as well. Communications, advocacy, we've seen, I think, rapid improvement, rapid changes, and I think it's all going to be for the better. Now, one last thing about the NAR meetings that I didn't want to leave untouched here is to express a little gratitude to NAR's longest serving president, Kevin Sears from the Boston area, completed his second year as president of the National Association of Realtors due to circumstances outside of his expectations, I think it's safe to say. And I learned that he's actually the second president to serve 2 years at the helm and the first one to do it in this century. I think people are going to remember Kevin for leading the association and managing the transformation of the member experience at NAR, balancing the budget at NAR, getting the strategic plan passed that I've mentioned. And I think it's, we often say the right leaders seem to always be in the right position at the right time. And Kevin did a wonderful job navigating the association through, I think what's fair to say is one of the most turbulent and darkest periods of its history, according to our national CEO, Nick Kremydas. The new team was also sworn in. New leaders, liaisons, RVPs, presidents, leadership team were all sworn in. Kevin Brown is the new president of the National Association of Realtors. He is a broker and owner of Better Homes Realty in Oakland, California, and was officially sworn in during the Houston conference. He's a second-generation realtor. He's been to South Carolina a couple of times, and he's the association's 118th president. He has extensive experience in residential and commercial transactions, as well as investment property management. And, well, one important final note about NAR, NAR's membership was at 1.49 million as of the end of September 30th, still hovering around that 1.5 million mark. It's about 6.5% higher than what the association budgeted for. And despite the higher than budgeted numbers, the NAR had planned that even if there was a drop in membership, that the balance, the budget would remain balanced. Membership typically lags economic trends by 1 or 2 years. That's certainly been the case in South Carolina. And for the last few years, home sales have dipped to levels that we haven't seen for a few years. And at that time, I think the worst of the housing crisis we saw in 2008, 2011, NAR's membership dropped to 1 million members at that time. So we certainly don't have those economic conditions today. And so to ensure that NAR continues to be able to serve members and the industry while also continuing, they got to make these settlement payments without raising membership dues, NAR's board of directors approved a leaner budget, cutting almost $41 million out of the national budget during its last meeting in June. So I know we just got off the Thanksgiving holiday. Certainly wanted to express, hope all of you got our holiday email last week. Wanted to express a big thank you and our strong sense of gratitude here at the association. Without you, there would be no association. Realtors, we appreciate you more than you know. And hope that you had a great holiday, spent some time with family and friends, enjoying some good food and each other's company and making some strong, some lifelong memories. I know my mom's sweet potato casserole came out perfect this year. I think I ate the majority of it. Sorry, rest of Kremydas clan, but I got dibs on the sweet potato pie this year. Mike, did y'all have a good Thanksgiving too? We were able to catch up this morning during our staff meeting. Now, I also want to congratulate the South Carolina Gamecocks on their big win. And no, before y'all tell me I've pre-recorded this before Saturday, I'm not talking about the football game. We're not talking about the football game, period, ever. This whole season, I think, is can go in the can, so to speak. But no, I'm talking about our own version of the Palmetto Bowl, the RPAC school rivalry, where we raised money for RPAC, and it was a contest between Carolina and Clemson fans, and the Carolina fans stepped up. And I'm proud to say that the Carolina flag, despite having no obvious other reasons to fly it over the fly it over the office building, is flying outside as I speak. So I guess until basketball season rolls in, Mike, it's the only thing I've got to cheer for today. But I hope that we're all going to get busy, and December is always a fun but crazy month. I had Christmas music playing in the car on the way to work this morning. I find that this is always my favorite time of the year. I hope y'all stay out of the hustle and bustle and stay safe, stay realtor strong, and we will catch up again with y'all real soon. Take care, everyone.